Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going over a very important update, one that I can already tell in the comments is causing people a lot of discomfort, but we're here to bring you the news, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And today, we do have the unfortunate news that Ethereum has suffered an exploit, a bug of sorts that is causing a hard fork in the chain for what is reported to be over 50% of miners. Now, before we get too excited, I don't believe that this will affect many end users, but it's currently something that we need to get the word out about. And the reason why this is important is because if we don't make a stink about this, people won't upgrade their miners fast enough, and we can't resolve this. So although it's not nice, we don't want to see these types of updates. The reality is they're necessary, and circulating information in an efficient and meaningful way is how we get past this as a community. So let's first off bring on this article. Yes, I have receipts here. I saw some people in the chats thinking I was making this stuff up. Why would I make stuff up like this, guys? You guys know I'm an Ethereum maximalist. Not really. I love all kinds of innovative chains. However, the reality is that Ethereum is one of my favorite things in the entire world. And so it gives me absolutely zero joy to report anything other than good things about it. Just know that. So let's talk about this for a second here. We have a bug in the Ethereum client that leads to a split. EVM compatible chains are also at risk here. So it's important to realize, and I'm hoping I can get a developer here in the room. I pinged some of my developers, and hopefully one of them can free up to come in and chat with you guys so he can give you the direct. But regardless, the point is that there is a bug here causing miners to hard fork off of ETH if they're running a not updated version of something called GETH or Geth. So let's talk about this right now. So the Ethereum bug is impacting over 50% of Ethereum clients. This is reported here by The Block. The Block is a very reputed crypto news reporting agency, reporting media imprint. So again, I have multiple sources here, including Cointelegraph and The Block. This is not clickbait here. This is a real piece of news. So for everyone in here who was saying I was clickbaiting in the comments, go ahead, smash the like. It's the only way I can tell that you agree that this is not clickbait. All right. A bug affecting older versions of a major Ethereum client is causing those nodes to split from the main network. This affects around 54% of Ethereum nodes. So that is a significant amount of nodes, and that's why we have to make videos covering it. So hopefully if you can get the word out to other miners to upgrade their Geth clients, right? This is about the upgrading of the Geth client. Now, the bug in the older version of Ethereum network client Geth has caused nodes running those versions to split from the main network. Now, in reality, a lot of this will not impact the end users, but if you're running a node service or if you're running a dApp or something like that, these are things that could potentially impact you. Now, my developers seem to suggest that it was more the case that EVM compatible chains that were less vetted, things like Huobi Eco or things that are maybe more niche EVM chains would probably be the most susceptible to something happening here. So that's just what's key, is that Ethereum itself is most likely not going to be the main receptacle, the main target of negativity here. Did I see that an Ether Lambo sold for $100,000 yesterday? I did not, but it doesn't surprise me because I was part of the Ether Rocks phenomenon. I watched that whole thing grow. Regardless, back to this. The point here is that we have an absolutely massive important bug here that we need to get people to upgrade their miners so that we can fix. So upgrading to the new version of Geth or GETH is the most important thing we can do. The concern here is that it could lead to double spending attacks. The Block research has identified this address. I'm not going to click on it as the exploited and the bug. It was found by it was funded by a Tornado Cash client, meaning that the address is essentially anonymous because Tornado Cash is an anonymized way of sending Ethereum across the network or coins across the network. The bug, which has the potential to impact other EVM compatible chains, has also been exploited on BSC. By this address and Huobi Eco by this address. So this was from the hat tip here is to PeckShield. PeckShield is a fantastic auditor in the space, does fantastic work, also developer as well. It does not appear that they have been exploited on Polygon. While portions of nodes have split off from the network, it doesn't appear to have huge ramifications yet. It appears the majority of miners are running updated versions of Ethereum, meaning hash rate is supporting the longest chain. Regarding nodes running older versions of Geth, they are effectively unable to access the main network. As a result, while there are possible exploits that could happen, the network appears to be stable for now. So this is what's going on right now. Things appear to be stable, but this is very real. This is a real bug, and it's causing miners to hard fork off of the network, creating a new chain, essentially, that does not support the longest standing chain of Ethereum. So that is where the issue is that certain miners are essentially splitting off from Ethereum. So Ethereum Foundation security lead Martin Swen said, a consensus bug hit Ethereum today, exploiting the consensus bug that was fixed in Geth v1.10, whatever. Fortunately, most miners were already updated, and the correct chain is also the longest, Canon. So essentially, after the Ethereum core developers were informed about the issue, they released a patch on August 24th to fix it. But this only helps those who have upgraded their nodes. So if you know a node operator, if you are a node operator, please upgrade your node to the latest version of Geth. It is important. When the fix was announced, a statement said the exact attack vector will be provided at a later date to give node operators and dependent downstream projects time to upgrade their nodes. All Geth versions supporting the London hard fork are vulnerable. The bug is older than London, so all users should update. Anyway, guys, that is the update on my side. Now, I wanted to take a second to debrief this. First of all, we only bring you the best information in the space. We're not going to sound alarms about Ethereum if it's unnecessary. This is one of my favorite things in the world. Probably 90% of my crypto assets, or something like 80% of my crypto assets, live on Ethereum at this point. And so I am very, very passionate about what happens here on the ecosystem. Never FUD this ecosystem. Now, the reality is that this is going to become a fart in the wind in the future, but right now we need to work through it, and it helps by getting the word out to node operators, to miners, to upgrade their clients. Now, of course, we all need to do our part. If you guys are excited to see how powerful this community is at getting the word out and fixing things like we saw with the Poly Network exploits, those are the things that we do best here as a global, socially enabled, hyper-connected crypto industry. So smash like if you guys are excited by the fact that communities like us are able to resolve massive issues like this together. I think it's really, really, really beautiful. The reality, though, is that there's more bullish news. Let's talk about Cardano for a second, because Cardano is painting a bull flag here, and a $3 ADA seems very likely. Now, I get it. To be honest, I love all of these L1s. I've been saying to throw money at Cardano now for a while. I've been saying to throw money at other L1s like Solana, like Polygon. All of these L1s have a ton of room to run. And that's because this bull run is far from over. And just like Ethereum is looking like it really wants to flip Bitcoin, these other L1s are going to start having the same flippening narrative develop for Ethereum, because faster, better, cheaper is always a sexy option here. And what we see is that people who are trying Solana, trying Avalanche, trying these other chains are starting to really invest themselves. We're actually going to talk about Avalanche here a little bit at the end of the video, because there's a lot going on over there right now. We also have this little piece of news here that Cuba is set to recognize and regulate cryptocurrency. Now, to me, all of these pieces of news, nothing is like a super ultra green flag here, because these are smaller nations, smaller economies, but it's a brick in the wall here as you see other nations that need something. They need some stimulus, some catalyst. Well, they're going to jump into crypto because why not? The other roads are not taking them to the right place. So as we start seeing, the bricks in the wall grow of other countries, other nations, other places just in general that want to adopt cryptocurrency, the actual narrative and the pressure on the United States, the pressure on China to actually jump in and get along with this newly forming massive economic movement on this new layer on the internet. Well, that's going to eventually weigh, and that's going to shape policy, and that's going to shape everything. So this stuff is, while it's not a direct catalyst to price, because probably, it's not going to send everyone's bags, the reality is that this is a very strong fundamental green flag showing that more and more and more nations will continue to hop on. So it's very, very good news. Finally, we had this piece of alpha here that BTC quarterly futures traded close to backwardation. Now, I'm not sure if this was confirmed. I don't know too much about Truenomic, but essentially the last time this happened, that quarterly futures traded close to backwardation, the last time was 29.5K. That is actually very, very, very good news. And to me, if Bitcoin has, we all know what happens. If Bitcoin runs, everything runs. So it's very, very nice to see these things happen. And we should always, always, always be rooting for Bitcoin, even if you're not a big Bitcoin holder. We all know how it goes. When Bitcoin runs, we all run. So very, very interesting. Now, personally, I'll be honest, I've been a little bit YOLO longing, mostly in the emerging NFT space, in the gaming space, but I have been super passionate about this moment where we're in. And I believe that a dip would be temporary in the near future. I don't think there's really a chance we go into a really crushing bear market just yet. I would be very, very, very shocked. I think it's like a less than 2% chance. And I see any dips right now, any kind of price action to the downside right now is looking like it's getting slurped up really, really hard by the whales, and especially looking into NFTs, which have been crazy. And like I said, I don't advocate anyone to just go crazy in NFTs because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know where we are in this progression of the industry of NFTs. We don't know if we're at the peak of tulip mania or if this is the beginning of a land grab for a new asset class. Now, of course, I want to say it's a land grab, but I just don't know. So I'm preaching caution. In the end, though, everyone I talk to who trades NFTs tells me they're having a blast. I personally am having a blast trading my NFTs, and I actually haven't sold any. I haven't really been flipping any. I did do some mints and flips like a month or two ago, but all of those ended up being bad sells because everything's just gone up and up and up. So maybe I'm being greedy, or maybe I'm being too long-term. Maybe I'm just ignoring the risks here, but I'm actually really excited, and I'm planning to hold a lot of my NFTs for a while longer. I don't know whether this is going to be looked upon as foolish, but I actually have started building out a collection of things that I'm really, really proud of. So that's kind of that's one of the things that I've been having the most fun with. Regardless, I do think that we're going to see the history of NFTs continue to evolve because things like this are happening. Things like this are happening right now. Let me get up to the top of this article. We had this sale of what's called a ringer. A ringer is, in my opinion, one of the most, this is like Art Blocks, IOs, one of their most important collections. You saw the episode that we did with Han. Do you guys remember the episode with Han on the Fidenza? If you guys remember that episode, please smash like, because that was an absolutely stunning episode. And by the way, Fidenzas, when we did that episode, were about 30 Ethereum. Now the cheapest Fidenza is like 180 Ethereum. Now I know that stuff is already 30 Ethereum's way, way, way too expensive for a lot of people. But, you know, in reality, it's just what it is. This stuff has gone parabolic, right? So, yeah, sorry, just checking on some super chats. Anyway, this is interesting to me. This was bought by Three Arrows Capital. Three Arrows Capital was one of the biggest, most aggressive VCs in building DeFi, run by someone named Su Zhu, who's one of my favorite commentators in the space. However, so he spent 1,800 Ethereum on this ringer, and this is, you know, considered, I guess, one of the best ringers, if not the best ringer. I did hear from a word from a little bird, that essentially ringers are going to have their own exhibit in the New York MoMA coming up. So I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but that's why people are going so crazy for this. Because if we start seeing stuff like this in the New York Museum of Modern Art, now we're looking at the fusion between art history and technology history and cryptocurrency history. It's all quite compelling. It's interesting. I'm not saying that these valuations are justified. I don't know anything about art. So let me just put that out there. I don't know anything about art. I'm not going to pretend to tell you I do. I'm just tracking the trend, and I find this stuff, I mean, it's eye-watering. It's hard not to pay attention. I think it's really interesting to see what's going on here. And I think no one knows what's really going on. That's the thing. No one can tell you if there's a top, when there's a top. And the fact that everyone keeps calling the top every day of NFTs, that's where I think things are kind of interesting, because most people don't know the top is in when the top is in. So when everyone's calling for the top, that sort of makes me think that the top's not quite in. Anyway, whatever. It's just some theories here. No one knows, remember, but everything that's happening in NFT land is crazy. I talked about a project called Phases just a couple of days ago on my Twitter, and it was less than 1 ETH to get a phase, and then they jumped up to 21 ETH, and now they're down to 17 or whatever. The movements are astronomical. So another trend is, of course, the early NFT stuff. I don't want this episode to be all about NFTs, but there's a new one called Pixel Map that people are going crazy for. And, you know, this thread by Su Zhu talks about the art side of things. But I did want to get a little ahead here. Logan Paul, of course. Okay, this is a very, very interesting project coming up. I've mentioned it before, Immutable X. I put it on my coins to watch list. They have their upcoming token sale on CoinList. Now, I don't believe this is available to United States participants, but if you go here to this article on the CoinList blog about Immutable X, you can actually register to potentially get a spot in this sale. Now, not financial advice. I am an investor, a pre-sale investor in Immutable X, so I can't comment on exactly what the odds are of getting this. I think there's over 100,000 people registered for this. But the Immutable X platform is going to be very, very important to the future of NFTs and the future of scalable Ethereum with NFT, carbon neutral, and it's also almost zero gas fees. So, and it's protected by the security of Ethereum and very easy to bridge back and forth between Ethereum. So it's kind of like having your cake and eating it too, getting the NFTs at almost instant scalability, high throughput, low fees. I'm a huge, huge fan. This is also a very, very strong partner of Superfarm. So Superfarm is integrating with IMX, and there is a massive announcement coming around that. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. But I've been working very closely with the IMX team to help bring some things to market. So this is going to be a critical part of Superfarm's growth as well. So I'm really, really excited to see this project come to life. I've been talking with this team since about Q3 of 2020, and I can't wait to see this finally take shape. So if you were looking to try to get into the IMX token sale, I personally think this one is going to be quite a blue chip. So that's my prediction. And I wanted to go in here and show, we've been on some like ebbing and flowing here of the crypto prices. But to be honest, we're back over 49K, and it feels to me as though this is quite a bit of accumulation. Now, of course, at this point, I'd just be praying for dips, because it does feel as though every dip just gets completely slurped up super fast. There's just not really been any meaningful dips since we double bottomed at 29K. And that to me shows me that the big holders are just going wild. Like they're not letting things dip. It's crazy. Look at Solana. I mean, it's just like a rocket ship. Look at Luna. Like these coins are going absolutely bananas. And to me, I do believe that we're going to be seeing some big trajectories here at the end of the year. I also think there's a big risk that things could end this year in sort of late Q4. And so I think you should always be prepared that I think there's going to be a big next leg, but I would also be prepared to take some profits on that next leg. Now, that said, I don't think we look at the same types of bear markets that we've had in the past. I mean, I just see so much excitement, activity, growth, user adoption, specifically around NFTs. But that doesn't matter. Users are joining Ethereum. Users are joining the network. And that means more wallets, more activity, more capital. It's a very, very, very interesting guy. Sorry, I was reading a comment. It's an interesting trend. So I'm extremely bullish right now. And to be honest, I do worry that, of course, you always want to buy the lowest and sell the highest. But the reality is right now, I feel like being in the game is really what's important. And that over time will be proven very right. I also see that there's just this massive land grab in NFTs. I personally can't rationalize buying very expensive ones, but I've been doing it anyway. And I don't know, maybe I just need my head checked. I think I just need my head checked. But I do think that there is potential that we'll see these NFT markets grow to become much, much more significant. I saw Suzu put out the theory that the NFT market caps would come to occupy maybe up to 10% of the total crypto market caps in 3 years. And like I said on the video yesterday, I think a $10 trillion market cap for all of crypto in 3 years is not crazy. So at 10% of that would be $1 trillion worth of NFTs. Just try to wrap your head around how friggin' big that is. That's just astronomical. Now your credentials will boom. I think so as well. What do I think about Superfarm? I just gave an update. And guys, just so you know, like I'm not allowed to talk about price with Super. I just can't do that as a founder of the project. So I never do that. But what I can talk about are the features and upcoming roadmap, partnerships and stuff like that. The fundamentals is what I can talk about. I can't talk about price and stuff. So I'm never going to do that. So a lot of people complain that I don't talk about price and Super. I'm just not allowed to, literally. So I don't do it. Everyone else can form their own conclusions. But Superfarm is the thing that I focus on more than anything else in the world. I'll just put it that way. So as we look here at what's coming next, I see this as another repeat of L1 season. But the niches that I'm very concerned with that I don't see anybody really addressing properly is still gaming is a gaping black hole of lack of coverage, lack of understanding, lack of products. It is the biggest opportunity that no one has really figured out yet. And that's going to go. So while L1s are getting super hot, I think making sure that you're focusing on gaming, which is just to me the mega trend, that is the alpha. That is the most important thing that I can share and that I believe is going to pave the way for real bear-proof success as well. Because if you get a massive player base playing a game, they don't care about the price of Bitcoin. They're immersed in that ecosystem. So that's going to be a really interesting thing to see. But I would be remiss here if I didn't show you what's going on with AVAX. AVAX has been an absolutely massive, massive play over the last few days and weeks. As you can see, they had this wild hockey stick here. And sure, they got rejected here off of all-time highs. I believe they got rejected off of it. Yeah, it looks like a perfect all-time high rejection. You can see that about 55 bucks. Yeah, they rejected. So look, they got rejected here off resistance, but I don't think it stops here. I believe AVAX is going to be one of those plays. All the people I've been talking to as well about AVAX, the big brains seem to think that this is really it. They love the way the actual blockchain works. And Andre Cronje, who's very, very, one of the most legendary developers in DeFi, said that he believes AVAX's bridge is the best decentralized bridge around. Now, remember how I made a video yesterday or the day before about decentralized bridges and how important they are. And so having a strong decentralized bridge between your chain and Ethereum, that's a massive green-red flag. So AVAX and Cosmos and some of these other more ignored ecosystems are probably going to be the site of much honor and much pumpage over the next few days and weeks. Not financial advice, just an observation of mine. I'm not going to call out any projects in specific, but I think this is enough of a cookie crumb trail for you to start expanding your search to this area. And as you can see, the TVL growing for AVAX has been an extremely positive trend as well. Let me see if it shows TVL here. It doesn't show TVL on this one, but anyway, the point is that I see this as a big trend. Obviously, we all would love to buy it down here at the dip at 10 bucks. But here we see it at, what is this, 50, 40 bucks? Yeah, it's a nice dip here from 55 to 42. Anyway, prediction here is that we probably base off of some resistance turn support and probably bounce back up, at least if the trend continues here of AVAX being so popular. I'm actually going to jump in now to some questions and answers because I don't usually get a chance to do that. If you guys are enjoying this content so far, if you're learning from it, if you enjoyed me helping you get ahead of some of these monster trends and trying to get you guys into NFTs in June, I've been hearing about people who got into NFTs just in June, just in May, just in July even, and they're up hundreds or thousands of X's having bought into some just normal collections, art blocks, buying into, Bored Apes, buying into just things that were just obviously popular. It's kind of crazy to see the gains here. It's not normal. It does make it seem like a top has to be in, a crash has to happen. There's no way it could continue type thing. But I'm just happy that I could help give you guys the information early. That's kind of what I live for. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, so Ether rocks are not the first rock on Ethereum. Same dev, WeLikeTheRocks.com. Have your team look at it. History. Yeah, what can I say? It does seem as though We Like the Rocks is the first rocks project. Let me see. Where is it? I had the Logan Paul tweet. Where is it? Yes, here. So Logan Paul apparently literally left dinner to snag this last night, $60,000 and $95,000. I believe that's a 20 ETH or like a 14 ETH, whatever, and 20 something ETH. So this is, to me, people are saying this is the first rock. I don't know. I've heard somebody complain that there's issues with the contract on this. So I don't know whether this one has a potential inflation concern. The reality is that I doubt that someone would, the dev would call that if he wants to protect the value of his creation. That said, look, I have so many rock regrets. I almost had a rock at 10 Ethereum, and literally a rock went fractionalized the other day, and it reached an implied valuation of like $15 million. So we're in crazy land. I mean, this is as crazy as I've ever seen anything in the world. So I think that, whether or not this is the rock, whether this rock is going to take the value of the other one, maybe. If you're someone who's just got an obscene amount of ETH laying around, maybe you want to grab one of these rocks just in case it gets considered to be the original historic rock. The other ones that people are talking about here are Ether Lambos, Crypto Fighters, and Crypto Art. I covered this one a few weeks ago. I even gave away a bunch of these Crypto Art ones. Ether Lambos, yeah, I guess it's kind of, yeah, this is the first play to earn is Crypto Fighters. Anyway, you guys make of this what you will. I don't think that just because things are old means that they'll always be valuable. I don't think that's the truth. I think right now it's a bit of a scramble to grab things. But if you're looking for something that's just really, really old, this one, Pixel Map, is the one that people discovered yesterday from 2016. So anyway, good luck in hunting NFTs. I'm certainly not going to be the person commenting saying what will or won't be valuable. Obviously, if you've been following my wallets, you know that I have an extremely, extremely large amount of high value NFTs because I think at least my belief here and why I've structured my collection around blue chips. Let me go ahead and explain why. The reason why I've structured my collection around blue chips is because I believe that there will be a massive crash of NFTs. But the people who will be very much so likely to crash, the people who will be likely to sell and capitulate, those are the people who are there for quick gains. So if I buy into something and maybe I'm a little over my head, maybe I've spent money I can't afford to lose, and I'm really hoping this thing goes up, if it starts turning on me, I'm going to want to get out and I'm going to want to recoup my losses at any time. But if I'm, say, a super ultra wealthy art collector or someone who's really just a believer long-term in the NFT space, and then I see my favorite collections going down in value, well, to me, that's an opportunity to buy them at cheaper prices. For example, I have total regrets I didn't get multiple Fidenzas when they were way cheaper. I really wished I could, because I do not at all want to spend what's currently the Fidenza floor, which is astronomically high. But if that goes down again, I believe that it's a collection that will eventually go back up and will start to hold a place in history. So I would win and I would buy that dip. Now, is that the case for Cool Potatoes number 7? Like, no, of course not. And that's why I'm warning you that all of these sort of, ancillary collections that are not quite as popular, that are not quite as blue chip, are much more susceptible to an eventual capitulation and crash. I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, I think I have a little bit of lag here. Give me a second. Give me 1 second here. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if and video back. Cool. I think sound and videos are back a little bit here. Let me know. I'm getting a little bit. Okay, cool. I think we're back. We're back, and we're better than ever. We're better than ever. Great. So anyway, guys, that's my theory on NFTs. And I do believe that because it's so early in the life cycle of NFTs, because this asset class is so young, that's why you're seeing astronomical growth. There will probably be astronomical crash. But I do believe that most likely for the history forever, people will be upset at NFT people making the money they're making because it seems foolish. But remember, there was an article by one of my favorite investors in the world, this guy, Chris Dixon, over at Sequoia, I believe he's at Sequoia, not Andreessen Horowitz. But Chris Dixon said that the next big thing, the next big innovation in human history will look like a toy, right? The next big innovation will look like something that is, innocuous and not to be taken seriously. I believe that was the case for Instagram. I believe that was the case for Snapchat. I believe that was the case for Facebook. I believe that maybe even that was the case for Google. But the reality is that the internet in general has thrived off of things that look maybe a little less serious than they are and become massive, massive industries, massive platforms that completely impact our everyday lives in the world. So that's why I think NFTs, whether you agree with it or not, are something that you just need to peel back the layers and try to understand. That's all I ask of you. Okay. Pulse Chain solves this. Pulse Chain solves this. Aping into Cool Potatoes right now. Thanks for your official financial advice. Moon River to the moon. All right, guys, let's go. This is your time to shine. Let's bring up the CoinGecko charts and let's go ahead and see what's happening here. We see here Arweave having a massively good day, coming back really strong. I know this is one of Crypto Banter's favorites, so congrats to all the Arweave holders. But this is your time to shine, guys. You can say what you think about my sneaker collection here. I don't own any of these. Tell me what coins you want me to talk about. Dragon and PNG? Am I following Parsik protocol? Of course I am. Of course I am. I've been talking with the team over at Parsik about IQ protocol. Gosh, I swear Tom over at Parsik brought it up to me, I think back in, I felt like it was like last year even. I felt like it was earlier this year or last year. But they've been hard at work on this. And we're actually looking into potentially partnering up with them at Superfarm, or the foundation over at Superfarm is looking to potentially integrate some of the IQ protocol features for NFT rental as well. So Parsik, again, I brought you guys this at 5 cents. It went up to like almost $3 at its peak. What was it? 262. And to me, they're very humble, very hardworking builders. focused on long-term growth and sustainability. Very, very good tech. Very, very good tech. And I would say that Parsik's definitely one to watch. So congrats on their growth here. And I believe they have a nice path back to all-time highs if this market holds. Check out Exeedme. Seriously, everyone. So Exeedme started as like an esports thing, I think. It started as a like sports wagering thing, I believe, was the goal of it. Current market cap is about 72 mil, so it's not tiny. Let me see where they are. Exeedme.com. I understand that they pivoted a little bit into something recently. Future of esports is in crypto. Yeah. Well, I will see here what somebody told me about a different feature set they added recently. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it seems to be more the same thing, like the chain games thing. It's okay, but esports is just tricky. So I wonder how likely it is for a crypto project to actually penetrate here. Good luck to Exeedme and Chain Games. They're both very similar projects, I think. So don't really have a formal opinion on it. I'm not a buyer, but I'm a watcher. Loading up on Tools of Rock NFT. Yeah, I have a couple of those. I don't know how they're going to do. I'm not shilling or anything. Just saying I have some. Have you ever looked at Unmarshall? Phenomenal team, amazing product. Yeah, I actually know Unmarshall really well. We tried to use their infrastructure at Superfarm, but they just weren't. It wasn't working. We couldn't use their API, so we had to switch to Morales. Now we use Morales's API with created by Ivan on Tech, and it's incredible what Ivan's built. So I'm a big fan. I'm a Morales maxi. No, I'm just kidding. I just like Ivan. I think he built a great product, and it helped advance Superfarm's development really fast, really far. What do I think about Mooncat NFTs? So the Mooncats actually date back pretty significantly here. They are a 2017 NFT project. Let me see if I can bring them up here. And what you want to do here when you're looking at Mooncats is bring them up here. I'll get this back into the stream. So here we have Mooncats. I'll go ahead and make myself small, and I will get that comment off. So I have Mooncats here, and what you want to do here is you want to actually see the rescue year. And the most valuable ones are going to be the 2017 ones. And they have a floor price right now. If we go to a buy now, I believe their floor is like 10. Oh, it's only 4.9. Yeah, look, I don't have a crystal ball or anything. This could go to zero. I have zero idea. But if this NFT hype and mania continues, this is a 2017 project. I could not, what was it? 188 results. Let me see how many there are total. There's 1,500 total Mooncats from 2017 or 1,600. So yeah, like if you think profile picture projects are getting 1 to 2 Ethereum value, sometimes as a floor, I don't know. It seems like there's a narrative here that these could reach a 10 ETH floor. I have no idea, but I would not be surprised to see this floor get swept up to 10 ETH at some point. I don't have any Mooncats, just so you guys know, but I am following this and I am looking at it. I just want to reiterate to everyone, like, I love NFTs, but I don't want people to get in over their head because I don't know how the story ends right now. I really don't. And it's pretty clear to me that there is going to be a lot of blood on the highway at some point. So if you're someone who's maybe has a small wallet or you just trying to make some crazy gains in NFTs, like, be careful because you're the type of person that might get chewed up and spit out here. The people who are doing a little better, who don't care about maybe getting money out of their NFTs, they're the people who are going to be able to ride through the dips and get back to the good times. Maybe it takes 5 years to get back to the next NFT bull market. I don't think it does. But in that event, the people who are really well off or kind of dabbling with money they can afford to lose, they're going to be fine because they're not going to care about those dips. They're just going to let their wallet, get dusty and then come back in the future if things get valuable again, or collect on the dips. So I just want to be clear that as much as I'm passionate about this stuff and I see it bringing in new audience, I see the Logan Paul fan base coming in. I see, you know, the Instagram girls eventually collecting stuff, that Kim Kardashian when she does her set. I see sports fans coming in. I think it's like truly amazing what's happening in NFTs. And I can't wait for the video game revolution, because we ain't seen nothing yet when it comes to video game NFTs. We have not seen a single thing yet. What Axie Infinity is primarily is you know, a lot of people in third world countries playing with assets that are owned by people in first world countries. And while it is amazing what they're building and the trajectory for Axie is extremely good, we still haven't seen that Fortnite-like experience, that Among Us-like experience, that World of Warcraft or Warzone-like experience where people are just obsessively playing a game and there's a digital economy that they can take part in. Once we achieve that, the flood of new users is going to make your head spin, and the market caps for these gaming projects are going to get so astronomically big. I believe that it will start to consume and dominate the crypto market caps. That's my belief. We'll go ahead and check in on this in a couple of years, but I will say, when I made videos all throughout 2020 saying that 2021 would be the year where NFTs exploded, I don't think even I, in my wildest fantasies, could have seen it getting to this point yet. So if you guys are liking the coverage of not just what's hot right now, anyone can cover what's hot right now, but if you guys are liking the future coverage, the coverage of things like Fidenzas before they go 10 or 100x, the coverage of the actual real underbelly trends that help you understand what's going on and the value creation in crypto, then please smash that like button. It's all I ask, and it really motivates me to do even more and better content. How do I think the Ivan on Tech NFTs will do in the future? I actually have no idea. I haven't studied Ivan's NFTs. I'll have to ask him. Phantom's a great project. Evaverse is cool, but they're just very, very early on, extremely early on, and it's a really small team. We met with them, and it was just one of those things where I'm all about gaming and stuff, but I do just think that it's very early, and I wish them the best, and I hope that they succeed dramatically. NFT VR gallery on Avalanche. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of these VR galleries. I don't know what's going to be the killer one. So we'll have to see. But the gallery stuff alone, I hear about a ton of these. What do I think about VPP? VPP, I'm an investor in. VPP went through the Superstarter program. So obviously I'm biased. I love this project, and I know the team behind them is also consensus backed. And I think that they have an interesting product. It does fall to me into a play to earn play sort of crypto gaming, though it is poker specifically. I think it's going to be very interesting to see. They have a really interesting celebrity poker tournament coming up, which I'll be covering here on the channel, as well as helping them organize. And I believe I'm playing in it. So if you guys want to see me lose some poker hands, make sure you show up, because I'm definitely not going to win against Phil Ivey. But at the same time, VPP is a very, very solid project. I like the team. Anything new on Superstarter? Superstarter voted to pause IDOs until the market conditions corrected. The whole point of Superstarter is to give the super farm community amazing opportunities before, as part of the access provided by the ecosystem. Now, of course, it doesn't really mean anything when those opportunities aren't being very, very highly sought after. So unless there's a line to cut, there's not any point in doing an IDO. So nothing is done just for the sake of doing. Everything is purposeful and purpose-built. And until we vote, or until the council votes again, there will be no more IDOs for just the short, near future. And then, of course, if the market turns back on and there's a big demand, then we have that project, that program is right there, and it can be voted on by the decentralized governance proposals to get started back up again. I personally don't control any of this, but of course, the on-chain governance is the way that all of this stuff is going to be decided. Blanco's Block Party is actually really cool. Blanco's Block Party is a very, very cool looking game. The thing about it is they're just not very native. They've started changing stuff over time, but they haven't really been here. I'll bring this up for you guys so you can see it. No, I'm not gonna do that. Can we just show me this? So this is the game here. I'll play it for you. I don't know. Is sound coming through? I don't think it is. Let me see if sound's coming through. Anyway, as you can see, I'm going to turn the sound off just in case it is coming through. As you can see, what makes this interesting is good looking graphics. It's built, it's like a proper game, right? It's in Unity. I wish they would have built it in Unreal Engine. But it's got this cuteness to it. They've got these collectible characters. But what they really needed to do was connect this more to the collector culture on Ethereum and the collector culture in NFT land. And then also, last time I checked, the actual NFTs weren't limited edition. So it kind of like, to me as a collector, I'd want some kind of limitations on the editions so that I know that it's not just like I have a lower print number, but it's actually like I have a 1 of X. That's hard to get. So that's kind of my thing on Blanco. So I think they've done amazingly and they're going to continue to grow and do amazing things in the industry. But I wish the NFTs were like a little bit more locked on their quantities. And I wish that they were on not EOS. Yeah, I'm sure Avalanche has some amazing IDOs coming up. Do I think there'll be a meme season 2.0? I believe meme season 2.0 is NFTs, you know? That's just what I genuinely believe. For example, I actually have a project that I bought into because I think that. So let me just go ahead and explain my full thought process here. The reality is that or memes, as it were, memes are a part of our world. Memes are a part of everything we do, and it's a huge part of the internet. What blockchain is the internet meeting the internet of money, and it's having this explosive, crazy effect. Part of that effect is leading us to things like meme coins, like Doge, Shiba Inu, Floki Inu, Kinu, whatever. And that was a whole wave. But then we got the actual, then it's like, well, why are we trading a token with a meme? Why aren't we just trading the meme itself? And so then we got to like the root emotion here, which is just the straight up memes are what we love. And so we started actually just trading the actual memes instead of a tokenized version of the meme. So this is a really interesting sort of leap. And so my question is this going to be something that comes back to meme coins? Well, I think in a way it will hybridize and there will be another meme season of sorts. Like whenever Doge moons, we'll see other meme coins have a good day. However, there's a project called UFO that started as a meme coin, but then I actually met with this team and they actually built a game that's a play to earn game, and they're launching a play to earn gaming metaverse. So they're taking their meminess, their sort of UFO meme, and they're turning it into a real ecosystem with games, play to earn, and a whole metaverse of NFTs. Now, I like that. I like that approach. So I actually bought a pretty decent bag several days ago. I haven't covered it properly. I was going to do a little bit of more research to cover it properly. It's been pumping like crazy, just so you guys know. It's been on a wild pump. And the reason is I think they've got an interesting mix here of the sort of meme economy appeal with the UFO branding. They actually just looks like they rebranded it. But then they've also got their gaming and metaverse stuff. So that's what's exciting about it. And the reason why I bought into it is because I had been a very, very meme coin hater. I just despised meme coins because I'm always fixated on technical value, on disruption, on innovation. But I'm ignoring the reality, which is that a lot of the internet is like cat videos and Pepe's and stuff that actually in our hearts and souls actually has value and has meaning. And so not everything is like a layer one tech thing. People don't go on Amazon because the source code is better than, Google shopping. They go on Amazon because they like the experience. And so I think liking things, having fun, having a good experience is something that like we just don't talk enough about. And so what we'll see with NFTs, and NFTs kind of rattled my brain on this because it was like, well, people are having fun, thus they're putting more money in, and they're putting in more money and then having more fun. And it's kind of like a black hole of entertainment and value. And it started to really make me understand that like not everything is going to be Harvard researched, peer reviewed technology that gets value. A lot of this stuff is going to be dumb. A lot of this stuff might be actually super left side of the bell curve, like rocks and stuff that's actually so dumb that people just laugh and do it anyway. And so that's the world we're in. And there's not going to, like, if you're going to be too much of a purist about things, I think you're going to miss out on a lot of things. So as much as I'm a purist about wanting things to be super professional and people to have like a real vision here, I do think that there is a fusion here where you have sort of like meme economies and real visions and real roadmaps kind of overlap. And that's what you're seeing with things like Bored Ape Yacht Club. That's what you're seeing with a lot of these NFT projects is you're seeing memes, actually memes with a purpose, memes with a vision. if that makes any sense. But that's kind of how I'm starting to see the market is you can't just hate something because it's got a meme factor. Hey, Elio, you missed my super chat earlier. Have you checked out unsigned algorithm NFTs, algorithmic generated NFTs on Cardano? I haven't. I actually need to get more deep into the Cardano, the CNFT world. So that's part of my my task going forward. I haven't been as deep into the CNFT world, but as I understand it, there's massive gains over there. And same with Solana NFTs. I've heard that there's been crazy gains over there. So guys, I just talked about Parsik. How big is that microphone? It's actually not that big. It's a normal microphone, but my room has a lot of echo. It's got a lot of echo in it. So this like styrofoam thing keeps it from the echo kind of bouncing back. So it actually gives like a really clean audio when I do this. And for example, like I have a fan over here, which would normally be picking up a lot of the audio, but because I have this on, it blocks it out. Elio trades crypto. Hi, sir. You missed my super chat. Love you, man. Thank you. Thank you for this. Flavio, let me see if I can find your super chat here. I don't see it, brother. I don't see it. Sorry about that. But I appreciate the kind words. Let me see if I can find it. Sometimes they disappear, these super chats. Yeah, so just to be clear here for people joining the stream now, I'm just going to wrap this up. We did have this inflation bug, or not inflation bug. Sorry. That's not what this was. We had this bug here where we knew that Ethereum had certain older clients that hadn't updated that were forking off of Ethereum. Now, it's not a huge danger to the end user right now, as far as we can tell, but people need to upgrade their nodes here to make sure that they are running the latest version of Geth. And that will allow them to essentially avoid this particular update, which has been patched. So all is well right now, but there is still a risk that this bug might be leading to exploits on other EVM enabled or compatible chains like Huobi ecosystem, BSC, and the like. So that's what's going on with that. Again, I want to iterate that it does appear that everything's okay, but this is the stuff we have to talk about and circulate information as a community. Now, I do want to say, what we're about to enter into, if things go the way I think they're about to, is going to be one of the fastest paced markets in the history of crypto. And it might be very short. So I think that if we go absolutely parabolic again, if within 2021, the idea here is that we might very well end up with a pretty shortened cycle, maybe a couple of months. So keep that in mind, that this is the accumulation phase, and that once we get anywhere close to $100,000 Bitcoin, we will most likely end up with an unsustainable, like the market probably won't go too much further than, 1 to 200K Bitcoin. So bear that in mind, that taking profits once you get these massive pops, again, I'm looking at gaming micros, I'm looking at NFT projects as the things that I'm most passionate about, gaining the biggest amount of users and having wild success in the near future. I also think gaming IDOs and new gaming projects are going to get wild hype, because there's a bunch, I can tell you this, I have seen so many deals for really high quality looking gaming projects coming to the market. And it's going to give me a lot of joy and pride to help you know about these at the earliest possible moment. Now, I think that there's going to be a lot of those that go absolutely crazy, sort of jumping in on this Axie hype. And I do believe that there is a lot of those who will actually maintain and grow throughout the bear market too. So that's why I'm super passionate about those, because I think that not only will they have huge upside, but there's potential that they could resist the down market. As you saw, Coinbase has just raised a $4 billion war chest, and their whole goal is to outlast crypto winter, where they get way less money. And so that's my goal as well, is to prepare for a crypto winter after a massive bull. I don't think we're past bear markets yet as an industry, though I would love for that to be the case. And I'm just going to be allocating, like I was talking about with the episodes with Alex Becker, I'll be allocating everything I can to the sectors that I think have the biggest chance to hold and grow users, to onboard people, and to keep them in there. Because to be honest, learning about DeFi isn't fun, and a lot of people are just not going to do it. Learning about NFTs is easy. You look at an NFT, you go, that's cute. Playing a video game is easy. Everyone loves games. We're actually, as humans, psychologically, we're built to enjoy games. Like, we are programmed to enjoy games, and games, literally date back to the prehistoric era of people playing with like hoops and sticks and stuff. Like everybody loves games, period. It's innate. It's native to our DNA. It's built into our physical bodies, to the love of games. And that's why this is going to be so powerful, combining blockchain with gaming. Anyway, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I think we're out of time here. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Thoughts about Floki, Elon Musk's brother partnership? Yeah, it sounds like Floki Eno is giving money to a charity. That's Elon Musk's brother. I think that might be a political stunt. I have absolutely no idea there. Certainly not endorsing. But yeah, at any rate, if this FUD of any sort gets you lower ETH prices, I'm buying. I'm a full believer in ETH, just to be clear. I'm also a big believer that these other quote unquote ETH killers are going to have a very, very good end of the year. Right now, ETH's congestion is driving everyone new off of the network. And so things like Immutable X, things like Polygon, things like Avalanche and BSC, and things like Polkadot, of course, Cardano, these are going to be the sites for a ton of gainage and pumpage, I believe. And just understand that as fast as these rise, they will go down like a rock, most of them, in the bear market. So take your gains, build up your stacks of the blue chips. And I sincerely hope that this has given you some value. If you guys got value out of today's episode, please smash that like button. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. As always, we'll be bringing you the best information in the space. We have an absolute rock star lineup of content for you next week. I'm so excited about it. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed with that bell notification on. Of course, each and every comment is entered to win your hardware wallet, which we'll give away this weekend. Make sure you're getting your comments in. As always, I thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me on Twitter at LEO Trades, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode. Bye, everybody.